Alright, and welcome back to round 5 of Swiss of this Pokémon Video Game Championships, Regional Championships in Singapore. We have the conclusion of the Seniors Swiss rounds. They're currently playing the top cut, but for now we're still going to focus on the Masters Swiss. And for top 5, don't we have a cracker for a match?
Well, we have two players actually quite well known here in Singapore. We have Eugene, who's one of a very consistent player for the past few years or so for some of our grassroots tournaments. And then we have Kenny, who recently has been showing out and showing that he has been a very strong contender to beat.
It is a clash of the old champions and the old champion and the current table leader in terms of championship points in Singapore. Kenny's had a lot of really strong finishes in Premier Challenges, as well as a strong third place finish in the Australian Perth Regionals.
Yes.
So Kenny definitely is showing that new players can make a consistent impact on the metagame. However, this is definitely a crunch match. Both players are currently at 3 wins and 1 loss. That means the player who loses this match has a very high chance of not getting into the top cut.
It's very tense right now, especially for most players in the 5th round. For those who have 3 wins or even 2 wins, they still might have a chance, but they can't really afford to make much mistakes now. They really have to win as much as possible. So now on the top screen, we see Kenny's team. We have Amoonguss, Conqueror, Cresselia, Heatran, Kangaskhan, and Sylveon. While on Eugene's team, we have Lopunny, Gastrodon, Cresselia, Heatran, Virizion, and Mawile.
Both players relatively unchanged teams from what they've used the most this season. Eugene, again, playing around with the 6th slot on his team, currently now a Mawile. So interestingly enough, possibly a double mega team with the Lopunny and the Mawile. Whereas Kenny's pretty much stuck with the same Kangaskhan and Cresselia Trick Room team for the whole of the season. I mean, it's worked for him for the whole season, so if it's not broken, why fix it?
Wait, one of Eugene's main Mega Pokemon, his previous tournaments and everything was mainly Mega Lopunny. But Mega Lopunny, it possibly does have problems on the Trick Room. So I guess it's good on his side that he now has Mawile. So he can actually use, let's say, Mega Mawile to other Trick Room, as it is one of the slower Pokemon in the game.
Eugene's team probably has been edited to better handle Trick Room, as he does have that rather slow mode with Gastrodon, Heatran, Mawile, and Cresselia. I don't see really a way for Eugene to deny Kenny from setting up his Trick Room, but he can definitely mitigate the effects of Trick Room by not bringing his faster and frailer Pokemon.
In a sense, if you can't beat them, join them. So now we see Kenny sending out Kangaskhan and Amoonguss, while Eugene sends out Cresselia and Mawile.
So, interestingly from Kenny here, Kangaskhan and Amoonguss is not something we see very often from him, but definitely powerful in this matchup where perhaps Trick Room isn't the best choice, and well done to Kenny for recognizing that right off the bat. Eugene, of course, has made adjustments to compensate for the Trick Room, and the Mawile files off a big Intimidate onto that Kangaskhan, going to reduce the attack until it switches out. The Cresselia, of course, also threatens the Amoonguss with super effective Psychic type attacks, so Amoonguss isn't very safe here.
Also, Cresselia being a bulky Pokemon and one of the slower Pokemon, functioning well under Trick Room if Kenny actually decided to go with that route. And even has the potential to reverse Trick Room with his own Trick Room.
That could be interesting. Although, in Kenny's perspective right now, you would have to think that the biggest threat on the field is the possible Rage Powder Power-Up Punch play that could swing a lot of momentum into Kenny's favor. So if Eugene wants to get rid of this Kangaskhan, he has to get rid of it fast before Amoonguss either puts things to sleep or provides too much redirection for this Kangaskhan.
Kenny could, as you said, could use Rage Powder, but if Eugene predicts that and tries to go for Amoonguss, there is still a chance that Kenny might take that as read and protects on Amoonguss instead, wasting Eugene's turn. But now we see Kenny switches out his own Kangaskhan onto a Heatran, threatening the Mawile on the field, and Mawile does decide to Mega Evolve.
I would be surprised to not see a Protect come out from the Amoonguss here. Kenny probably wants to play it really safe, as Mawile actually goes for the Protect here, not wanting to take a potential attack. As Skill Swap comes out from the Cresselia, gonna pass Heatran to Levitate. Interesting move there, as probably trying to get rid of the parental bond from Kangaskhan instead, as Spore does go off onto the Cresselia, and Kenny is in a good position to start off the game.
I mean, Heatran here can't really hurt Cresselia too much with Heat Wave, but that's not really the point of what launching out Heat Wave right now. You want to get rid of Mobile, so and Cresselia now is not really there to damage Mughals, being at least having one turn of confirmed sleep. So Eugene's cut in a tough position, but it's still early in the game, so who knows.
Although interestingly enough, now that Cresselia has taken a Flash Fire, you know, Heatran can't damage Cresselia with its fire type attacks and has to resort to either Earth Power or a potential Flash Cannon in order to deal damage to this Cresselia. And if you look at Eugene's side, he doesn't, aside from the Gastrodon, he doesn't really have, you know, a ground type, maybe his own Heatran, his own ground type moves to deal with the opposing Heatran. So giving it Levitate, maybe not the worst of plays in this situation.
I mean, Virizion does deal well with Heatran, but that provides if Virizion's already on the field beforehand, and switching it into a Heat Wave isn't something you want to do with Virizion.
As the Earth Power does come out from Kenny's.
Oh, almost getting the KO onto the Mawile.
With the Life Orb, so that Mawile really bulky. Gonna fire off the Iron Head. Is it gonna have the Rocky Helmet though? No, it has a Citrus Berry, so Mawile is gonna be sticking around for one more turn here.
Because that goes for onto the Mawile just in case it does survive, which in this case it does. So good play by Kenny here, going for the spot onto Mawile slot, even though the Earth Power could have actually knocked it out already.
It was also to possibly punish a potential switch in by Eugene there, in case he decided to switch out his Mawile and then catch the whatever came in on the switch with the Spore, ensuring that next turn they're both, you know, the Pokemon on both like Eugene's side of the field will be asleep.
Now Eugene is pretty much forced to either sacrifice his Mega Mawile or to switch it, and either way you still get hit. And be punished heavily due to that. Keeping Mawile in will just make you lose your Mega quite early in the game, with it still being 4-4, and switching in will just get Kenny a free hit. And Heatran could go for a substitute if he does have that move.
Both players taking their time here. I mean, Eugene's definitely on the back foot here, but a quick wake up, a quick one turn of sleep here could turn things potentially into his favor if Cresselia can wake up and get rid of Amoonguss on the field.
Yeah. I mean, despite not being in Trick Room, Eugene did set up rather slow Pokemon, and Amoonguss can take a bit of advantage of that. Does not really have to be fast or be under Trick Room for Amoonguss to be effective, as it is one of those very bulky Pokemon that can take hits and deal a lot of trouble back with thanks to Spore putting your Pokemon to sleep, and with his 100% accuracy. Now you see Kenny taking his time here, deciding what to do.
Interestingly, if you look at Kenny's 4 Pokemon, you have to imagine the last Pokemon is his own Cresselia in order to set up his own Trick Room, as Kenny is going to withdraw his Heatran here. Instead of his Sylveon, so no Cresselia, no Trick Room option from Kenny this game.
It does make sense for Kenny, as setting up Trick Room doesn't really help him too much, as Eugene does have his own slow Pokemon, and Kenny has his Kangaskhan, which will be end up going later than say Mega Mawile or even Gastrodon. So
Eugene's 2 Pokemon, they're taking another turn of sleep. Kenny possibly predicting Eugene to switch out his Mawile, so because of the lack of, the inability for Mawile to protect that turn, because it was forced to take 1 turn of sleep. But Eugene unexpectedly stays in with his Mawile, and it actually just pays off in the end, as he, allows the Mawile is going to stay asleep for another turn, not going to be able to wake up, as Return comes out from the Kangaskhan onto Cresselia, with the critical hit, dealing in over half. Gonna heal back with a Citrus Berry though, gonna be able to survive a Hyper Voice, hopefully. But Cresselia still can't wake up. A full 3 turn sleep there, as the Hyper Voice is gonna pick up the KO on the Mawile and drop Cresselia within range of KO of this Kangaskhan.
Yeah, having Mawile sleeping here, he was trying to go for the Sucker Punch, but it didn't happen thanks to the sleep. So it's kind of a critical turn there for Eugene. And with Cresselia still sleeping, not really being able to do much at all.
Unfortunate for Eugene here that he has to deal with 3 turn sleeps.
I mean, now with Amoonguss off the field also, Cresselia can't really damage anything that much. Sylveon takes special hits quite easily, and Kangaskhan is quite bulky in of itself, so Cresselia not really being able to do much here. Maybe a Trick Room, but however, you do have Amoonguss on Kenny's side of the field, of his team, and maybe Sylveon could be slower than Eugene's own Pokemon.
Heatran here, though, is a good option for Eugene. It does resist, as Kangaskhan is going to finish off this Cresselia with the return, not allowing the Psychic Pokemon to stick around. Possibly predicting a Heatran Protect, in fact, as Heatran is going to just launch off that Heat Wave and deal a good amount of damage to both Kangaskhan and Sylveon here. He gets the burn on the Heatran! That burn is huge!
Now, reducing the attack power of Kangaskhan will really help Eugene a lot, whatever he sends in, as the Kangaskhan can't really hit as hard as he could beforehand. So, this might actually be one of the turning factors for Eugene, but we have still yet to see, as Eugene still has to face up against 4 Pokemon on Kenny's side.
However, Sylveon here revealing the hidden power ground is going to cause quite a bit of troubles for Eugene. Down to his last 2 Pokemon, with Heatran, one of them, not the best of positions. If Sylveon didn't have that hidden power ground, perhaps Eugene's Heatran would have been in a safer position here. But good tech by Kenny there to reveal the hidden power ground and deal a lot of damage to Eugene's Heatran.
One of Eugene's problem right now in this position is that Sylveon is a Pokemon that has naturally high special defense, so Heatran and Gastrodon can't really do much to it. Even if you get rid of Kangaskhan, Sylveon is still there to let off very powerful Hyper Voices. So Eugene's not really in a good position either way. Kangaskhan's
return doing so little damage to Gastrodon. Gastrodon fires out the Muddy Water. Eugene's hero from 2013 but the Hyper Beam from Sylveon is going to connect with this Gastrodon and take it out. Huge play by Kenny there to remove the Gastrodon from the field, possibly fearing a bulky recover set.
Yeah, pretty much Kenny does have this game. His Kangaskhan does manage to take out the Heatran. His Sylveon does have hidden power ground, as we've seen before. So not really a good position for Heatran.
Loki is going to come out from the Kangaskhan. Is it going to pick up the KO? Heatran falls. Eugene drops a 3-2, but Kenny advances 4-1 into round 6 of Swiss. Congratulations to Kenny. And well played to Eugene as well.
Quite a convincing win though from Kenny's side. Being able to make reads on what Pokemon to send in, having an advantage in terms of matchup. Even though with Heatran on the field against his Sylveon, he still has that hidden power ground to take care of it. So it's a smart move on his moveset on his end.
It was very interesting to see that Kenny opted not to choose to bring his Cresselia in this game, denying himself the Trick Room option, but in exchange giving him lots of offensive presence between Heatran, Sylveon, Kangaskhan, and the redirection from the Amoonguss is very powerful. And Eugene simply could not deal with the overwhelming offensive presence with his bulkier but not so offensive Pokemon.
Yeah, as you see before, having your bulky, not so advancing Pokemon as your last Pokemon may not really be a good idea, especially if it's one against 4. So now let's have Kenny up here for our interview for winning round 5 of Swiss.
Sure. Alright, and now joining me on screen with a 4-1 record and inching ever so closer to yet another top cut at a Pokemon BGC tournament is Kenny. Congratulations, Kenny, for that very convincing win, actually. I want to ask, you've been the most consistent player throughout the entire season, but you did something in that game that was very different from what you're used to doing. I usually, use your Trick Room Cresselia to overwhelm your opponent, but I noticed that in that game, you chose to leave Cresselia on the bench. What was going through your mind when you made that decision?
Okay, because I know that Eugene know my team very well, so I know that he know all my items, so I decided to play something that is different, so that to caught me off guard. Yeah.
I see. So, I noticed that early on in the game, you switched out your Kangaskhan for the Heatran. What was the reasoning behind that play? What were you thinking about?
I believe that the rough play on Kansas is quite obvious. Yeah, so
I see. Well, that play did end up paying out even more than that because Eugene actually skill swapped away your flash fire, and that put him in a pretty bad position because he couldn't attack your Heatran with ground type moves. You still have to win one more game in order to get to the top cut. How do you feel right now?
Nervous. Yeah.
Well, don't let the nerves get to you. Hopefully, we will see you back in the top cut, and good luck going forward.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.